Elliot,
Good afternoon, Jamie. How are you?
I feel a bit tired today, if I'm honest. It's, I think it's the routine. It's late night, early mornings, killing me at the moment. So, how about you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Slowly getting through the weeks, hopefully.
I quite enjoy doing
Looking,
these. I enjoy doing
yeah,
these.
me too, me too. And it's just there's not much else to do during my days at the moment, so it's
No, and also I quite like
get
doing the
something.
quizzes. I find the quizzes
Mm.
hilarious.
I
Um,
reckon one because I made a quiz, like a football-based quiz for um my people I work with. I reckon we should do that. I'll quizmaster it, and we'll get you, and then Reese can probably, and we'll do like a head to head. You can get a parent in to challenge you. Have
that's
you
fun.
seen they're doing it with like Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports? It's like,
Oh
and then they're
yes,
bringing in different players.
yeah, I saw that with
So,
James
and then we can
James
just see
Madison.
if, yeah. Just test everyone's knowledge, see what it's about.
Yeah,
I
I
think that'd
like.
be a good laugh as well.
Yeah, we'll do that with Reece tomorrow. He's back tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go against him tomorrow.
All right.
I see you're wearing your Northampton uni stuff. Do you want to explain quickly?
Yes, I have technically just finished my first year at uni, although it was cut
Hey,
quite short. So that's 1 year done. Uh, that's not too much hassle. Only 2 days a week, so it's pretty chill. But yeah, it's good fun. Working towards doing some coaching, doing some teaching.
good man.
Yeah,
And you plan to be with us for a while, don't you? Good man. Well done.
I do indeed.
Yes, good man. You all heard it. You heard it. Okay. Right. So I've changed the topic probably 3 or 4 times in my head this morning. Um, Obviously, we'll wait for the Villa debate, Tottenham debate, which for some reason you seem to laugh at that, which I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm not sure why. Um,
Ridiculous.
um, Again, I'm not sure why. So I'm going to try and get a Villa fan on for this because it'll be quite
That's fine.
interesting. I think it'll
Two
be
v
quite.
one. I'll still back my argument.
No, I'm neutral. I'm kind of neutral, but not neutral, if that makes sense.
Okay.
If
No,
you
that's
were,
fine.
there's a criteria I have for why one club is bigger than the other. Not just, I don't just turn around and say that club's bigger.
Yeah. The reason I think it's not much of a debate, and I'll say this now, and then I can explain it in whenever that comes around. I think now Tottenham are bigger, but back in the day, Aston Villa were bigger.
Mm,
That's the way I look at it.
but we'll see. Anyway, so I've got actually two topics. I don't know if you've got a topic as well. But my first one is, I think we briefly discussed it with Reece the other day, but I think
Hmm.
to make it fair, because me and Reece voted Real Madrid and you voted Barcelona, I think whilst Reece is away today, I think to make it fair, to make it 1 against 1, we
Yeah.
do it today. So
Okay, that's fine.
the
That's
simple
cool.
topic to start with is if you are a professional footballer right now, as in right this moment, 2020, and I don't know, you're playing for Tottenham, I'm playing for United. You get a transfer bid in from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Tottenham don't want you anymore because they want the cash, and Man United don't want me anymore because they want the cash. Um, who do you go to? You've got both options. The club are willing to sell you to either club. Who do you go to? I said Real Madrid. You said Barcelona. Who wants to go first? Now I've got a criteria. I've broke it down, not just the club, but I've got one, two, three, four, five.
Oh, blimey.
I've got 5 criteria that would meet why I would go to Real Madrid over Barcelona.
Okay, you go first then, and then I'll work off what you say.
All right. So why I would go to Real Madrid? Number one, very simple. They don't have a standout superstar at the moment, whereas Barcelona do. They've got Messi. Now, for me, if I wanted to make an impact, I don't want to be living in someone's shadow. Which, unfortunately, as much as a superstar Bale has been at Real Madrid, he was always living under Ronaldo's shadow. And it's just so unfortunate that when Ronaldo left, Bale hasn't kind of taken that mantle over him. Eden Hazard was supposed to take over that mantle, but it's just not worked out at the moment. Um, so if I was going to either club, I would be going to Real Madrid. The proof in the pudding, as you say, the evidence. You know, Neymar, when he was at Barcelona, he wanted to be the standout star. Was never going to happen when Messi was there. Decided to go to PSG. Not sure he's a stand-up star there either because of Mbappe. And he wants to go back to Barcelona because people have realised actually he's, as much as a great player he is, he's an annoying human being at times. So for me, that would be one criteria. So for me to make an impact on my club without living in anyone's shadows, I would be going to Real Madrid. My second criteria, sorry, let me just get my pad out. I've actually run out of pages from my last notepad from quizzes and everything else, so I've had to go on to my next one. Okay, so my second one. So my question to you is, have you ever been to Barcelona or Madrid?
No.
Okay, I've been to both, and that's not me boasting. I've been to both. I've been to Barcelona twice, and I've been to Madrid twice. I've been to Madrid with my wife for a long weekend. It was our first holiday together, abroad, should I say. And I always wanted to go to Madrid. I've been to Barcelona. I wanted to go to Madrid. I wanted to see what the city was like. I wanted to see what the Bernabeu was like. I'd always been interested to go to the Bernabeu because Beckham had played there. Van Nistelrooy had gone there. And obviously Ronaldo was there. And when we went, Ronaldo was there at the time as well in 2013. So I'd always had kind of like a background interest in Real Madrid just because so many former United players have gone there.
The feeder club.
Yeah, well, no, not really, but
Not as in as a proper feeder club, but it was a lot of players seemed to make that transfer, didn't they?
yeah. I think I don't know. I don't know if there's a special relationship behind the scenes between United and Madrid. I couldn't tell you. There probably isn't. I'm just making it up, but I'm just throwing it out there. But you don't see many Man United players going to Barcelona. I'm just trying to think. I can't really remember any big names going from the Premier League to Barcelona recently, apart from Suarez and Fabregas. I really can't. Oh yeah, Coutinho, but has that worked out really? Not really. I could say that probably Liverpool are Barcelona's feeder club. But,
yeah, potentially.
And then you've got the likes of Tottenham. You've got Bale and Modric off to Madrid. I just don't think you get loads and loads of Premier League stars head to Barcelona over Madrid. I don't know if that's Barcelona's recruiting policy or players prefer Real Madrid or what. But so another kind of thing would be, as a United fan, I've seen the likes of Beckham go to Madrid and Ronaldo and Van Nistelrooy. And yeah, I'll be honest, each time they went to Real Madrid, I hated them for all of 6 months. But yeah, I've always had a background interest in Real Madrid. I've always been quite keen to go to the city. I've always been keen to go to the Bernabeu. So that kind of Man United connection is another kind of persuading point, I think. That if I was a player, I would also want to go to Real Madrid to have that kind of legacy that Ronaldo had at United and Real Madrid. So I would kind of want to stick that as well.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's fair.
My next one is the actual club itself. So I think Real Madrid is a bigger club. I think it's a bigger club traditionally, history-wise. It's won a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but it's won more than Barcelona. It's been more successful in the last 5 years than Barcelona. Yeah, you could argue that Barcelona have won more La Ligas, but Real Madrid have won, 4 Champions Leagues in the last, I think it's 6 years,
6 or 7? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 years. So that would be a big part of it, the actual history of the club, the size of the club. But don't get me wrong, Barcelona is a massive club. And I think a big part of that is due to Messi. But I think if you took Messi out of that Barcelona team, I don't think it would probably generate as much interest as what Real Madrid
I agree.
globally. I'm not saying Barcelona is not a massive club. It is a massive club. But I just think if before Messi broke into that Barcelona team, it was no bigger than an AC Milan or an Inter in size-wise. And I just think Real Madrid is just huge. You know, even with Ronaldo taken out of the club, I think it's still a massive club worldwide. Globally, shirt sales. I think Real Madrid always going to sell shirts. I think in Spain, they're not particularly liked because they're a big club, so that's just natural. But I
Yeah.
think thinking as a kind of global point of view, the amount of times I see kids on football camps wearing Real Madrid kits, and yeah, I see loads of Barcelona kits as well. But the majority of foreign kits, not Premier League kits, but foreign, are probably Real Madrid kits. And then second, Barcelona. And then you get the odd Juventus with the Ronaldo or Bayern Munich. I can't think of... Oh, and PSG as well. But I can't think of any other clubs that have that kind of brand. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the Premier League because you could add Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool into that. I'm not talking about Premier League. I'm talking about foreign teams. And I think the brand size of Real Madrid is massive. So that's another reason why I would join. Now I'm going away from the club a little bit. So me being, as I've got a family, so I'm thinking kind of outside the box now, football.
Okay. Yeah.
But then also,
Obviously, I'm a bit younger. I don't have to think about these things just yet.
yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just thinking from a personal point of view. So me as a family, and also actually, I'm also thinking from a city point of view as well. Which city I like better, which is etc. So I'm going away from the club now, and I'm thinking of me as a person where I would want to live, and as a family. So for me, I've obviously, like I said, I've been to both. I went to Madrid in 2013. I've been to Barcelona. Actually, I've been to Barcelona 4 times, but twice I passed through Barcelona on the train, so I didn't really
Right. Okay.
there. The second time I was in Madrid, I stayed. Long story short, I went on holiday to Spain, Malaga, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
South
I've been there. Yeah.
south
Nice.
of Spain, very nice.
Yeah. Nice
And
place.
I've got a big phobia of flying, and in the end, I thought I'm not doing it this year. So I took the train from London all the way down to Spain. I did the Eurostar to Paris. I did Paris to Barcelona, Barcelona to Madrid. I stayed in Madrid one night, and then I went to Malaga. So I've been to Madrid
That's commitment.
twice.
That is.
Yeah, I loved it, mate. It was brilliant. But I stayed when I got to Madrid at midnight on the first day of travel. I literally walked to my hotel 2 minutes from the train station, and I stayed there. And I remember watching. It was like a few weeks before the Champions League draw, and I was watching Spanish TV, and they were talking about the Champions League and what groups could get, and I couldn't understand of it. Obviously, all of it was in Spanish, but I was just sat watching it. I couldn't sleep. I was too excited to get on holiday. But I remember feeling excited when I got to Madrid, thinking this is really nice. Yeah, I wasn't too excited when I got to Barcelona. So I know I'm babbling a bit. So basically,
That's all
thinking about myself as a family and where I would live, because obviously as a footballer, if you transfer, you've got to think about where you're going to live, the city, your environment,
Yeah.
etc. So for me, Madrid, I've been to Madrid and Barcelona, like I said. I've been to Barcelona as in visiting the actual city twice. So I've been around the city twice. I've had a good look around. So it's not like I'm just passing through it. I have passed through it twice, but I've also been into the city. And for me, I think Madrid. I think Madrid is a nicer city. It's a more historical city. I think it's better to look at on the eye. I think it's more kind of cultural buildings to look at. It's not as crowded as Barcelona, bizarrely, considering Madrid's the capital. Barcelona is a lot more touristy than Madrid. You get so many more tourists go to Barcelona than you do Madrid. Although there is still a lot of tourists in Madrid, I don't think it's as heavy as Barcelona.
No, I agree.
That would annoy me. I think as well. I just like Madrid better. It's a nicer city. It's nicer to look at. It's dead centre, and it's the centre of Spain, so it's pretty much easy to get to anywhere in Spain, as it's a centre via train, high-speed train. I know Barcelona's got a beach, but that really doesn't bother me one bit. I just think I can't really describe it unless you've been to both. Is my honest answer? And I know everyone's got their different opinions, but as a family, I would prefer to be based in Madrid than Barcelona. like I said, I think it's nicer to look at. I think it's nicer to be in. I think the buildings are nicer. I think it's less crowded. You have the whole problem with the problem with Barcelona is, and this isn't to offend anyone who lives in Barcelona or is from Barcelona, but they've got the whole the issue with the Catalonian independence as well. So I'm not sure I'd feel 100% comfortable there whilst that was going on. And that's not meaning to offend people from Barcelona. That's just personal choice. I wouldn't want to live somewhere where they're having a big problem, trying to gain independence, and there's riots, and they're having a problem with the police and stuff like that. So I wouldn't want to go there. And like I said, I just think it's nicer to look at. I think they're both lovely cities. I just prefer Madrid on the eye than Barcelona. And like I said, it's less touristy. I've put it down to another kind of category, but this is against Madrid. I think, unfortunately, Madrid is slightly more expensive than Barcelona. I think that's the only negative I've got of it. It's slightly more expensive. Just because it's the capital as well. I think that probably plays a massive part. I've also went on the internet to kind of get a bit more research, and I'm pretty certain that Madrid is a lot safer than Barcelona, as in crime. My evidence for that is I'm pretty certain, I might be wrong, but I thought I read a few weeks back that Barcelona is the capital of pickpocketers in Europe. And I've got evidence on this. Not that I've been pickpocketed in Barcelona, but my good friend, he was in Barcelona with his wife now. She wasn't his wife then. They went on holiday, and I had the keys to his house to kind of in case of an emergency or anything. And I remember he phoned me from Barcelona. And bear in mind, my good friend, he's 6'4", he's big, and you wouldn't pick a fight with him if you saw him. He's soft as anything. He wouldn't harm a fly, but to look at, you wouldn't necessarily pick a fight. I had a phone call from him, and I'll always remember this. I had a phone call from him, and he said, "You all right, Jamie? How are you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Why are you phoning me in Barcelona?" He went, "Yeah, I've been pickpocketed in the metro station. My phone's gone." He said, "Can you go to my house and get my O2 box and ring up O2 and cancel my phone?" I went, "Oh my God, Jesus." So I went to his house and phoned up O2 for him and cancelled his phone and got that blocked and everything for him. And I remember picking him up from Luton Airport, and he was telling me all about it. And I think Barcelona is very well known for pickpocketing in the metros or down. There's a famous street, you've probably heard of it, Las Ramblas. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have heard of that.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of pickpocketing that I've read up on down there as well. Whereas Madrid, I don't think has that problem. Actually, telling you another story about Barcelona with crime. That's just popped to my head. I do have another experience of crime in Barcelona. So, on my way back on holiday from Malaga back to the UK, I had to stop at Barcelona, change at Barcelona. So I did Malaga all the way to Barcelona, straight journey. Didn't go to Madrid, straight journey back to Barcelona, and that was a long journey. That was like 5 hours worth of train. And then I got to Barcelona. I had to wait like an hour to change trains because I was staying in Perpignan in the south of France. So I then did Barcelona to Perpignan, which was like a 45-minute train journey. And then I stayed there overnight, did Perpignan to Paris, and then Paris back to the UK. So I was in the queue in Barcelona, and I was always told, keep your hands in your pockets, make sure no one puts their hands in, etc. And I had one of those, is it bum bags? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I had one of them, and I made sure it was at the front of me, and my passport was in my pocket. I had literally had my passport like that in my hand, in my pocket. And my thought was, I don't care if my wallet or if my phone gets stolen, but my passport is staying with me.
Yeah.
And I was behind an old lady, and she turned around to me, and she said, I can't remember how we started the conversation. I think I just said to her, is this train going to Perpignan? And she said, yep, absolutely. She said, I'm off to Marseille, because the train was going to Marseille as well. And she turned around to me and said, I've had to go to the American embassy in Barcelona. She was American. I said, why? She said, yeah, I got pickpocketed and all my money was gone. My cards, everything. And I was like, my God. And it took her 2 weeks. Oh, and her passport. And her passport was
Oh
stolen.
my.
So she had to go to the American embassy, and she spent a week at the embassy waiting for them to issue a new passport. And I just thought, oh my God. And I don't know if she had a villa in Marseille. She bought one or something, but she was staying there. But she couldn't get there because she couldn't buy a train ticket because all her money was gone, her cards were gone, her passport and everything. And I've never heard anything like that in Madrid. So if you ever do go to Barcelona, be careful.
Yes.
I'm not saying anything bad about people who live in Barcelona. I'm not dissing people from Barcelona. I actually have friends who used to live in Barcelona who are really nice. Their kid comes to a lot of my camps, and they're really nice people, and they've got family. They were really nice, actually, because they said to me if I missed the train going from Barcelona to Madrid on the way down to Malaga, that I could stay with their family. So I have no problems or issues or anything against people who live in Barcelona or from Barcelona. What I'm saying is I think it's slightly worse for crime, for petty crime like pickpocketing and stuff like that. I'm pretty certain it's the what did I say? It was something capital of Europe. It was like, yeah,
Yeah. Let me
I'm
have a look.
I'm sure it's the like the pickpocketing like of Europe. I think I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure Paris would come close to that as well. But that's nothing against people who live in Barcelona. I just think that would be another reason why I would live in Madrid over Barcelona. But
Apparently, according to TripAdvisor, it has been named the pickpocket capital of the world.
that's it. I thought it was that. So that's kind of another
Las
reason.
Ramblas Street.
That's it. Yeah. And then the metro stations as well. They're awful for it. So yeah, that's kind of another reason. I won't ramble on too long, so I don't want to bore everyone. So that was another category that I think Madrid is safer in that sense. And so that's my view from a family point of view, and also from a preference. I've been to both, so what I enjoy the most, which one I enjoyed the most, which one I liked better on the eye. That, me and my wife always talk about we should go back to Madrid because we really enjoyed it so much. And also Madrid's kind of and I don't want to sound too soppy doppy because it's a football topic, but Madrid's got a bit of a special place in my heart because that's where me and my wife first went on holiday together. So Madrid's kind of got that special place. So I don't want to get too mushy and lovey-dovey, but Madrid does have that little lovely place in my heart because it is. I was actually going off it quick, and I won't bore you too much, but I was actually going to propose to my wife in Madrid. There, I wish I did now. There's
Still the ring in Barcelona or something.
No. There's like a massive park and a river in Madrid. It's called El Retiro. It's a beautiful place. And actually, my profile picture on Facebook, if you go on it, that's where we had our picture, both me and my wife. That's where it's set, El Retiro. I was going to propose there, but unfortunately, we were moving house then, and we obviously saved to go to Madrid, and things were getting a bit expensive. So I waited a couple of months. We went to Dublin in November, so I did it in Dublin instead. Dublin's beautiful. Dublin's really nice. It just rained a lot, and I just wish I did it in Madrid. But no, that's just from a mushy-dushy point of view. That Madrid's got a bit of a place in my heart. And the last thing as well, and going back to a football point of view, I actually prefer the Bernabeu to the Nou Camp. And reason being, yes, I know the Nou Camp's bigger. I think the Bernabeu is 90,000, the Nou Camp's 109, I think.
109, yeah.
So 20,000 odd seats more, which isn't really that much. But I just think the Bernabeu, when I went, I know they're changing it, aren't they? They're knocking part of it down and they're completely changing. Actually, they're doing both stadiums, aren't they? They're changing both the stadiums. And I just think the Bernabeu, it's a lot closer to the pitch. It's a lot closer to the pitch. I don't know. I think like the new camp is a great stadium. I was taken back by the size of the new camp. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a great stadium, but the fact that it's like a massive bowl and it's got no shelter to like most of the
Yeah,
ground, I just kind of looked at it and thought, oh, it,
it's
it,
traditional though, isn't it? That's
it,
what.
it is traditional, but I just thought, I know you get atmospheres at the new camp, but I just don't think you really get the atmosphere that the Bernabeu gets because it's more tighter. It keeps the
Yeah, yeah.
noise
So,
in. So I would want to play in the Bernabeu, and yeah, I just think personal preference. It's nothing against the new camp, like they're great stadiums, but me personally,
yeah.
I enjoyed the Bernabeu. I would probably say, as far as going, that the Bernabeu is probably the best football ground I've been to in my life. I've been to quite a few, and that is taking my United goggles off. I think the Bernabeu is hands down the best stadium I've been to, football stadium. I would probably put. Trying to think where else I've been. I'd probably put Wembley and Old Trafford as second. But yeah, personal choice, the Bernabeu for me, and Madrid, just for all these reasons.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I hope
Yeah.
I haven't bored you for too long.
No, no. Well, mine's nothing to do with. I've never been to either places. My parents have been, and my sister have been, like for the
Have they?
touristy kind of
Have they been?
holidays. Yeah, my
Have they been to both, or just one?
um. So last year, my parents went to Barcelona.
Right.
Um, and the year before that, my sister went to Barcelona. But
Right.
my sister'd been to Madrid like when she was maybe like 15 on a school trip. So
It'd be.
like
Do you know what? It'd be really
yeah,
interesting to ask your sister which one she prefers. That would be interesting.
I think because she went for like a specific reason because it was with a school. When she went
Right.
to Madrid, I think she would choose Barcelona because she
Right.
could do what she wants probably.
Right. Right. Got
But
you.
I don't know. Anyway, they said that they enjoyed their trips to Barcelona. But as I say, personally, I've never been to either. I haven't been to the stadiums either.
That surprises
So
me.
for
I would have thought
my
you would have been.
choices, to be fair, I'm not that. That's it. In terms of stadiums, well travelled. In terms of, I've been to
I think.
two,
I think.
three Premier League stadiums, and obviously Wembley, Kassam,
I think maybe
MK.
this is a separate
Not too
topic.
much.
Stadiums we'd want to visit before we die.
100%.
Top
100%. Obviously,
five.
now I'm older and I can travel legally by myself,
Mm.
or not even by myself, but without my parents. It's a lot different. I think loads of my friends have been to the Ajax Stadium and said it's amazing. Like the
I,
Johan Cruyff Arena
I've been there.
looks so good. Yeah, it looks really
It is
good.
good. It's really amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been there.
yeah. Right. Anyway, so I chose Barca purely based on footballing reasons because obviously I don't have any kids. I'm not
Mhm.
married. um, I haven't
Soon,
visited either place.
soon to be. Yeah.
Um, or not sure, not sure.
Does your girlfriend
Um,
watch these videos?
Probably not. She doesn't really have an interest in football.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I told her that I said that we were getting married next year, she'll watch it. But
What would her response be? No or yes?
uh, I think she would say yes. But I'm not. No way. No,
Don't
yeah,
do it.
no way. Yeah, exactly.
Do it. Oh my! I didn't get
So
married till I was 24, nearly 25.
I'm 21 this year.
Oh wow!
I know I was still like ridiculously young, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. So for purely footballing reasons, I chose Barcelona. Um, as you said, I know Real Madrid is probably a bigger club. They've been more successful over the course of their like span. Obviously, they've won the most Champions Leagues and all that. And again, I've got absolutely not many bad things to say about Real Madrid because
Mm.
it's an iconic club in football. It's like, yes, they play in the La Liga, which we say is weaker than obviously the Premier League, but still they dominate Europe pretty much. As we said, like they've won 4 out of the last 6 or 7 Champions Leagues, which is an amazing achievement. But for me, so your first point was about playing under, like being in a shadow. For me, I would absolutely love to play with Lionel Messi. I don't care if that means that I'm, if I'm going there as a star man, I understand why maybe
Yeah,
Neymar didn't really like it. I get that, but for me, I think the opportunity to play with Messi would be absolutely incredible.
I get that.
Like we talked about that yesterday. I know, was it yesterday or the day before? We talked about Messi and Ronaldo, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think just to play alongside someone of Messi's caliber would be
See, I've
sensational.
got the opposite thought of that, because obviously I'm a Ronaldo man, and actually
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't particularly like Messi. Really, I think he's a great footballer, but I think his attitude sometimes doesn't get the criticism that I think it deserves, such
Hmm.
as the swearing at players, the swearing at referees. Even I think there's also a video where he confronted Bilbao fans as well, and he's saying stuff about fans' mothers and stuff like that. And I just think no. So I'm in the
Yeah,
opposite. I wouldn't want to play with him. I'd like to kick him as an opposing player. So that would be my thought on that.
yeah. I think there is things which he's done which I don't agree with, of course, but purely as a player on the pitch, I think he's absolutely different gravy. I think he's
Mm.
class, and I'd love to play with him. Another thing which is it's a weird thing, I think, that I kind of admire about Barcelona is the consistency that they have with the same players over long durations.
Mm.
You don't really see like massive overhauls of the club. Like you don't see 5 or 6 signings in a window. That's probably because they've find people young and train them to be what they want them to be. I imagine. Obviously, I wasn't around when Xavi and Iniesta first came through, but I've been around since they come to the end of their careers. And if you looked at a Barcelona team sheet, probably for the last, well, from 2010 to 2016, a lot of the names are the same, and
Yeah.
they're still performing to a high level. Which obviously, Spurs are nowhere near Barca's level, but we've had the same squad for a long time, and we haven't been able to do something like that. So I think what they're doing is really
Yeah.
impressive.
But
Um,
here's a question to you then.
Go on.
So obviously, as a Spurs fan, and
Hmm.
you said in a few videos that you're a massive fan of Bale, would that not
Hmm.
tempt you to go to Real Madrid and play with Bale?
Yeah, I thought about that, and Modric, of course. I thought about that, but I don't think I could turn down the chance not to play with Messi. For me, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate thing for me because I think you said like, I've never been to the places, never been to the stadiums. Um, I love watching Barcelona play. People say it's boring, but I love it. I think it's really. I'm going to use the word attractive football, but some people it is. For some people, it's not. Um, and yeah, I think their consistency over the years, they haven't obviously won as much as Real Madrid have, but they go through less spells, I think, than Real Madrid do. Madrid aren't having a great season, if I'm right thinking, this year.
Uh, I don't think it's too bad. They're top, I think, at the moment. I think.
Oh, are they?
I
Oh,
think
I'm
they.
not sure, but I thought they had a few results where they've been like,
I just don't
been
think.
battered, but
I think the problem is Madrid and Barcelona are both in a transitional period. But
yeah.
because the league isn't that great, they can still get away with winning things.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah, no,
Whereas,
agreed.
whereas United, Arsenal,
Yeah.
Chelsea, they're in a transitional period, and unfortunately,
You
they're
take a
not.
bit of a hit for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get the La
Yeah.
Liga
Yeah.
table up. I'm pretty sure Madrid are top,
Yeah.
just
I'm not
about.
sure, but I know I've seen a few results where they've lost in
Uh
games that they shouldn't have. And
no, they're not. Barcelona are top by 2 points. I thought
okay.
Madrid were top.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I think looking at the Real Madrid team sheet, like round 2010, just before obviously Ronaldo was there, they've changed a fair amount of their team from then, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. Like they're bringing in world class talent. Like you wouldn't say they've made a signing which is
Yeah,
not worked. But for me, I kind of really like that stability that Barcelona seem to have. And when they sign a player, it's normally a massive name for a big fee, and it's like something that will improve their team. Sometimes it doesn't work. Like Coutinho hasn't really worked, and I get that, but he's probably a rare. Like Griezmann went there this summer, I think, or last
yeah,
summer just
yeah.
gone.
See,
and he's
I,
been
I find
sensational.
that a really bizarre transfer. I might be completely
Yeah, no,
I find
I
that so
completely agree.
bizarre because I just think, why would you do that? Like, move from Atletico to Barcelona. I know it might be a very slight jump, as in you might win slightly more things, but I actually
Yeah.
thought Atletico were building something pretty decent. And I
No,
actually,
that team that they had that got to the Champions League final, that I think they lost to Juve, didn't they?
what,
Not Juve.
Atletico, Real Madrid, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, they lost 4-1 or
Yeah,
2-1 or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. That team was really solid. All
Yeah,
round was a good team.
and I actually rate Diego Simeone quite highly. I think he's
Hmm.
really
Yeah,
underrated.
me too.
Um,
Yeah.
I think and also, as silly as it sounds, that new Atletico stadium they've got, unreal. Like, I've not been to it because when I went,
Yeah.
they still had the is it the Vicente Calderon or whatever it's called?
I
I'm pretty sure that's what
honestly
it
don't
was.
know.
We didn't go to it, but I had a picture of it in the background, in the back. But their new stadium, oh my God, looks amazing. It's fantastic.
I'm googling it right now.
I just don't understand why
Oh
you
my
went from
god!
Atletico to
It looks
Barcelona.
like the you know the it looks like the Atlanta Stadium. That's quite cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that was really cool. Yeah,
I just don't. I just didn't get that because now
yeah.
obviously
I
Atletico
think
fans hate him.
there is some. Yeah, there's something quite. I'm going to use the word weird, but it's not weird that players leave big clubs in the same league to go to the other big club in the same league. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think it's the same. Obviously, when Van Persie left Arsenal to go to United, everyone was a little bit like, "Oh, like he shouldn't be doing that." Not, it wasn't like like,
I think the only
but
ones that were
then
saying that were Arsenal fans because at the time
yeah,
Arsenal
like it
were
makes
not.
sense.
They were not
No,
challenging for the
yeah,
title, whereas United
but
were.
say Aguero joins United, you
Oh
would be
yeah,
like,
that's
hang
odd.
on a second. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something a little bit strange about players leaving the big clubs in the same league to go to another big club in the same league.
He wouldn't get in our
Like, I
team
think,
anyway. Got Rashford.
all right, if Griezmann had come over to the Premier League, you'd be like, okay, that makes a bit more
Hmm.
sense. I think could go to the big clubs, but yeah, there is a little bit something about players leaving a big team in one league to go to another big team in the
Yeah,
same league. But yeah, I think I I don't watch a lot of Spanish football. I'll put my hands up. When I normally watch Barcelona, it's in the Champions League.
yeah. So
And
problem is,
obviously last year they
it's not
won.
on Sky Sports anymore, so that's the big problem.
Yeah, yeah. Um, obviously, if you see Messi do something or something happens, it's all over the internet. But obviously, last year they lost to Liverpool in the semi,
What?
quarter final.
No, it's the semis.
Semi was it? Was in the
Disaster.
semis. Um, they absolutely dominated in the first leg. I was with a load of Liverpool fans when they literally turned it off after 2-0, and it was quite an entertaining night. And obviously, the second night I was at the pub, and I couldn't really believe it, to be honest. But yeah, I think so. For me, it's playing alongside Messi. I would absolutely love it. I think he's different gravy. I love the way they play. I admire the stability that the club kind of has in their squad, and I think
Yeah,
it is still a squad of world class players all over this time. I think it's they don't sign players who's a maybe kind of player. They know what they're buying.
I think the
And
only
yeah,
thing.
for me,
I think the only thing another thing that would stop me joining uh, Barcelona. There's two things. Another two things. Number one, Suarez. Can't stand him. So me hugging him when he scores would go against everything I believe in. And I would probably think that my United legacy would probably go out the window there and then if I did that. I couldn't hug him because I think he racially abused Patrice Evra. So why would I want to hug him? So that's just my opinion. And the second thing, I think I mentioned it the other day. I think Messi's got far too much power at that club, so he influences a lot of things going from board level. So I wouldn't want to play with someone like that. And also, I think I'd rather play under Zidane than I don't even know what Barcelona's manager's called now.
there's some Spanish guy in it.
Exactly. I think I'd rather play under Zizou, the iconic Zizou, than him. But that's just my
Although
argument.
you do see during transfer windows, there's a lot more, especially the last two I won't say 2 years, but maybe 1.5 years, especially with transfer with Bale. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of like falling outs and stuff. And I know that Messi has like probably has a lot of power and has, outed managers and all that. But for me, I don't see that as much as I would see, Gareth Bale. I think it was last window he was, playing golf, or like he said something about playing golf and playing football or something.
But then
Something like, which it's not a reason why I wouldn't join, but
then is that Bale's attitude as well, in the sense
yeah,
that
would you want to play with players that don't want to be there?
But does Bale want to be there? Because to me,
I don't know.
to me,
So do you think this is a different topic? But do you think Bale was? They didn't want Bale. Did you think Bale didn't want to be there?
I think it's a. I don't think Real Madrid want him anymore. I don't think that's any secret. I think Real Madrid expected Gareth Bale to, and I personally think, and I'm a big Bale fan. I'd have loved to have seen him at United, and actually, I would still have him at United. Whether or not he'd get into the team, and whether or not he would fit into our philosophy now of younger players, that's a different argument. But I think Gareth Bale hasn't done himself any favours in the sense that. I think a lot of Madrid fans expected, and I know the media in Madrid and Barcelona is quite tough, quite heavy. They're very well known for being very heavy and quite very critical on players rather than over here. I don't think Bale's done himself any favours in the sense that he was looked at as being the replacement for Ronaldo. He was being looked at as that player to take over Ronaldo's crown. I actually think he's a similar type of player to Ronaldo. If you look at it,
agreed.
He's the same kind of size, 6 foot odd player. He's great in the air, runs at players. I would compare him as a left-footed Ronaldo, but just not with the same amount of goals, etc. I think the difference is Ronaldo's got more of a drive about him to succeed than Bale.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
and Bale has scored a few massive goals for Real.
Yeah.
Like in the finals, he scored so many goals.
Absolutely, and I think that's why Bale's frustrated, because in his view, he seems to think that the Madrid fans seem to forget this. But I think Madrid fans seem to think that Bale should be given more. And I think they were expecting Bale to replace Ronaldo in that superstar role. I was expecting it. I thought Bale would hit 40, 50 goals a season when Ronaldo went. It's just not worked out. But then the injuries hasn't helped either. But
no, not at all.
I just think the problem is, I think they've given Bale a season and a half, and they've decided we don't want you anymore. You're not kind of delivering what we expect you to deliver. They're trying to get him out the door. No one wants him because of his massive wages that he's on. And Bale's not exactly pushing for a move to he's not exactly going, all right, if you don't want me, I'll go play football somewhere else, or I'm going to get regular football, because he will get regular football anywhere else. He's happy to sit on the bench with the money he's on and then play golf. I think that's what a lot of Madrid fans aren't very happy with, just the kind of mentality. That's the view I get. And also, I don't know if this is true. It could be completely wrong. I'm just kind of saying what I've read. But I think a lot of, not I think, because I don't know, I'm not in the dressing room, but what I've read is that there are some Madrid players who aren't very happy with Bale because he hasn't taken the time and effort to learn more Spanish.
I'm pretty sure that he actually doesn't even speak fluent Spanish,
which I think is absolutely ridiculous, because he's been there 7 years now, and I've been. Have you seen that app, Duolingo? Have you ever seen that?
Nah.
So I've been learning Spanish for the last 445 days, according to my app. So I do it every night, like a streak. So I keep my streak.
Right. Okay.
And I think I could hold a basic conversation in Spanish with someone. But that's just my personal view. I think learning another language is really important.
Yeah. The difference is Kieran Trippier went to Atletico, and within a month he was doing a press conference in bits and bobs in Spanish. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Obviously, I'm not expecting him in a month to know Spanish, but I reckon now because he puts things on his Instagram in Spanish, and he does his videos in Spanish. So I think, there is definitely
I've seen
it's either a willingness or a laziness. It's either or, I think.
I've seen a real basic conversation that Bale's had in Spanish, but real basic. But like you said, if Trippier is doing it in X amount of months, that's embarrassing. So I don't. I don't think you can blame Real Madrid fully on that Bale situation because I think there's got to
No.
work two
Yeah.
ways. But anyway, back to your Barcelona.
Yeah. Well, to sum up, I guess, as I've said, I think playing alongside Messi would be amazing. I don't necessarily agree with some of the things he's done in the past, but I think purely on the pitch based, it would be sensational to play with him.
Yeah.
I admire the kind of the policy around Barcelona, as I've said, the stability that they seem to have in their squad. The quality of their squad is up there with one of the best. I think in every position they're very, very strong.
Yeah.
I also kind of like the Spanishness, I'm going to call it, about Barcelona.
Oh, don't say that. Do not say that.
Well, why can't I say that?
Because the majority of people in Barcelona, they don't class themselves as Spanish. They class themselves as Catalonian.
Well, right. What I'm going to say is
dear.
the amount of like representatives of their country that are at Barcelona.
So to rephrase then, you mean the amount of players that represent Spain from the Barcelona team?
Yes.
Got you.
Over the years, I think, and maybe not so much now, but definitely like the core of that Spanish team came from Barcelona.
Got you. I was going
which
to
is
say,
what I was trying to say.
My God,
not being offensive.
Don't start a political argument. Oh my God.
I don't know if anyone from Spain will watch this, but we'll clear that up anyway. Yeah, which is another thing which I quite like. And I can't remember what the first thing I said was. Playing with Messi, the stability of the squad over the years. Yeah, and I think the signings they make, they're world class. It's a squad of world class players, and I think it would be amazing to play in there. Although saying that, obviously Real Madrid squad is also sensational.
Yeah,
it's a very tricky one. It's like the Messi Ronaldo. Like, who do you? What's your preference?
I don't think
if I would have.
I don't think there's much argument because I'm not going to counter any yours with an argument like we have done with like Mourinho or anything, because I think it's just personal preference. I think we've both
completely agree.
both kind of looked at it in a different way because obviously I'm a little bit older than you. And this isn't to offend you, but I've probably got a lot more life experience and
I hope so.
and everything else. And obviously, I've got a family. You don't, but you've got a girlfriend. So it's a bit. We're in two different boats. So I've kind of.
If I'd have visited both stadiums, it would probably give you Again, I've probably got less layers to go off than you do. Which is obviously no fault of mine, no fault of yours, but
But remember, I did ask you at the start if you're a professional footballer right now, not when you're 18 or 30. Right?
Yeah.
So
I would still choose Barcelona.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. What I'm saying is we've looked at it in two different ways. You've looked at it from a footballing point of view. I've looked at it from a footballing point of view and where I would live, where I'd feel safest, and etc. And going out into the city and stuff. So I think we've come across it in two different angles, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to argue it because we're two different ages with two different lifestyles. So so to sum up, you would go for Messi, the culture of the club, and what was your other one? I forgot. Oh, and the transfer.
The transfers, yeah.
Whereas I would go on, carry on.
No, I was just going to say that I don't know. I think they're quite sensible deals. Like, they buy what they know they need to buy. They don't go out. They're not rash. I don't think they're like calculated signings, which I like.
So yeah, I'm not going to argue with any of yours. I think it's just preference, isn't it? It's what's your favourite colour, red or blue? I think it's just preference. So that's why. And to sum up, why I would pick Madrid. Simple. The transfers from United, the United kind of connection, I'd go. To play at the same club as one of my idols, Ronaldo. I like the city better than Barcelona. I feel safer in Madrid. Not saying that Barcelona is not safe. I just think it's a little bit safer. Nothing against anyone who lives in Barcelona or is from Barcelona. Family point of view as well, I prefer Madrid. I'm sure Barcelona is great for families, but it's just personal preference. And also, I prefer the Bernabeu to the new camp. And in my point of view, Real Madrid's a bigger club than Barcelona. And also, I'd like to hope that I'd be unveiled as a Galactico.
Mhm.
Here's a question before we get off this topic, right?
Go on.
What position, if you were playing right now, I
Yeah.
don't know if you still do play, but if you play now, or if you play
Mhm.
whatever, what position would you be playing if you were a professional footballer? So think about your fitness and everything right now. Now, I would be playing
Yeah.
a holding midfield role or slightly attacking midfield role. So
It's the exact same as me.
okay, so
Um,
I think I would get into them if this was basically on fairy tale thinking. Like, we're professional
yeah,
footballers,
yeah.
we're amazing,
Mhm.
we're regularly selected for England. Me and you are playing in the centre for England together. You're at Tottenham, I'm at United. Blah blah blah. We're both in the first team, and we're kind of like at the Bale standard, where when Bale went to Madrid, everyone wants us, and we were hitting the goals.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. I think I would get into the Real Madrid team purely because Modric is aging. So I think
Yeah.
I would walk straight into that team because my age, I'm 29. Luka Modric, I think, is like 34. Although I'm hitting my 30s, I think I'd still get in over him. Who else plays
Yeah.
centre mid for Real Madrid? I'm just trying to think. Oh,
Casemiro is
that's
the
it.
holding mid, the Brazilian.
I think he's older than me as well. I think. I might be completely
Probably will
wrong.
be.
I might be. If he's not, I'm going to
No, I
be.
think you are. No, I think you're right.
If he's younger than me, I'm going to be really upset.
He's, he's 28.
So he's a year younger. That's not bad.
There's a year younger. Yeah.
Right, so I think I would get in over Modric at least. So I would walk in that team. You would most likely walk into that team because your age would go for you.
Yeah. I think I would rather play as like a 10 than anything else because I like scoring goals. Well, I've still somehow got a
Yeah.
little bit of a goal in the locker.
See,
Um,
I'm not too fussed. I don't mind scoring, but I also don't mind
mm,
dictating play, spraying passes about.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't
So
mind.
yeah, I'll
I don't
do
mind
any.
being the
Obviously,
engine.
same as you. Busquets is getting on a bit. Rakitic is not
Oh,
very in favour.
I
But
think
Mourinho loves him. I would love him at Spurs. I think he's a really good player, but he doesn't seem to be liked that much currently at Barca.
I
Um,
think you'd get in by the looks of it. I think you'll have no
and
problems, judging
I
by
don't
your
even know
age,
who else
and
plays
we'd
centre
be
mid.
meeting in
Yeah, probably.
El Clasico. Oh dear. So to sum up, you're Barcelona, I'm Real Madrid,
Mhm.
and Reece would be joining
Yeah.
me on a free transfer, and he'd be sat on the bench as a goalkeeper to. Oh, it's Courtois, isn't it? Who's in number one?
Courtois, then Areola's number 2, and he's also very, very good.
Yeah. So Reece would be on the reserves.
Reece's third choice.
Sorry, Reece, you don't get in.
Sorry, Reece.
So yeah, all right. I enjoyed that. I would say that's probably the first argument we haven't had actually. I would.
Nah. I mean, I can't really say, oh, that's, Real Madrid are a terrible club.
Well,
Like,
that
because,
was my thinking as well. I can't really argue it because they're both big clubs, but I think it's just personal preference, isn't it? Which do you prefer? Um, you're frozen. There we go. And
oh, there we go.
no, I don't think you can really argue it. I would say though, before we come off the topic, I really do think you should go and visit both cities.
I would honestly would love to. Um,
You should.
yeah, no, I'm
You
not the
should.
most well travelled.
You
Like, I've
should.
been on a lot of family holidays, but not like they're coastal. You know what I mean?
You should make it your 2021 goal of the year, Madrid and Barcelona. You could fly into
Next
Madrid.
year.
You could fly to Barcelona.
Yeah, you did both in one trip, couldn't you?
Yeah, of course you do. Fly to
Yeah,
Barcelona, take the high-speed train to Madrid, fly back from Madrid. Easy. And then
easy.
we'll get your opinion which one you like more.
And then if I film it all, you can pay for me to go.
No. What's your girlfriend's name?
Holly.
Holly, if you're watching this, next year, Elliot's going to take you to Barcelona and Madrid. Aren't you?
Yes, I am.
There we go. But
Fantastic.
you've got to take him to the new camp on the Bernabeu.
Yes, yes.
I would love to know your thoughts if you went to both.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can re-discuss it when I have been to both in a year's time.
But I think Reece needs to go as well, because I don't think he's been to either. I might be wrong.
Okay.
There you go, Holly. Sorry, Reece will go with you too. All right. Do you have a topic or not, or should I bring up my second?
Yeah, well, mine was their ball takers in the Premier League.
Do you want to hear what my second topic was, and we'll decide?
Yeah.
So I was in
My choice is a bit of a random one, but go on.
So I was in the shower, and you know when you get these random thoughts, I was
Oh yeah, I know another one of these. That's 2 in 2 days, isn't it? Or 3 in 2 days?
Well, that's when I got a headache, because I was thinking. And I was thinking to myself, I was thinking of what I would say about the Madrid-Barcelona debate. And then it popped in my head. What about David Beckham? Was he overrated or underrated? And because I was just thinking about Madrid.
That's tricky.
And I was thinking, who's played for Madrid that kind of from Man United? And I was going, Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy, even Gabriel Heinze. God. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, my God. United fans hate him because he wanted to go to Liverpool. So we said no and sent him to Madrid. Van Nistelrooy. And then I thought, Beckham went. And then I was just thinking about his career in the shower. I was kind of leaning against the wall while the water's hitting me. Thinking, I was just stood there thinking, was he overrated or was he underrated?
It's tricky for me to comment. He was still playing when I was consciously getting to know football, but
then I forget your age.
He wasn't.
Ages too
long. For me, he was. Where was he? He probably. What I remember, I've seen his goals. Like I've seen his Greece free kick. Like I've seen it because YouTube and all that jazz. But I remember he went to Milan later on, AC Milan with maybe when Kaká was there late, maybe I don't know, possibly. But he was anyway. Later on in his career, he went to Milan, and then obviously went to LA Galaxy. That's all kind of, but I don't remember him at United or Real Madrid. I've seen videos of him, and I know stories about when he had to get escorted around by the police because he did something. I've heard these stories, but he was a hell of a player.
I keep forgetting about your age. That's the problem. I forget about the age.
Even if I was maybe 3 years older, I would have a bit more on him, but born in 99 and he probably retired in...
You were born in 99? Oh my God, that makes me feel really old. You were born the year that United won the treble. Oh my God, that makes me feel really old.
Sorry.
That makes me feel very, very old. What do you want to do your topic then?
If you don't, it can do, because I don't think mine's an odd one and you're 100% going to laugh, but it makes sense with the stats behind
Declan Rice?
Yeah. No. Have you ever seen Declan Rice take a penalty?
No, I've not. No. Thank God.
No. Because I think you're going to pick one of your own club's players. I could have, because...
I'm actually doing a bit of Googling now to see.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm going to propose you my argument and then...
Am I going to laugh?
Because I genuinely think you will laugh.
It's not Trent,
but it makes sense with the stats. No. So I could have picked Kane because since the World Cup. No, let me explain. Because obviously in the World Cup he didn't miss one. They were all great penalties. He's missed a couple. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, as normally every penalty taker does, they miss a fair few.
Didn't pass it to Raheem Sterling. Probably the biggest thing he.
Yeah, but his goals, his golden boot got.
Oh wow! What 3 against Panama?
3 more than you've got.
Panama, wow. He should have passed it.
Oh, well.
2-0
he wouldn't have got that far without his goals in the first place.
2-0 England, and then job done. Final. He could have been the second England to lead us to a final. But he pulled
Anyway, moving on. Moving on. So I could have picked Kane because I think his penalty ratio is incredible. His technique on a penalty is really good. I think a lot of power, a lot of accuracy. I think every time we got a penalty in that World Cup, I don't think anyone really doubted him that much.
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't. I think we were happy to have a Harry Kane to take our penalties, I think.
We're not having the Harry Kane loving fest, are we?
No. Because now I'm going to get into my stats about who I'm actually going to choose.
Well, I've picked someone in my head now, and you're going to be surprised.
All right.
If it's
Okay. Well, I think you're going to be more surprised by mine.
oh god, it's not
Okay.
like Vertonghen, is it?
No. It's someone who actually takes penalties for their club.
Can I guess? Can I guess first? Is it a top 6
Okay.
team?
No.
I can't think then. I don't know.
So this person's a captain of their club. He's a one-man club. And the reason I've picked him is because he's got the highest ratio of sending the goalkeeper the wrong way in the Premier League history, above some great names in that list, obviously. And that he's taken 42 in his career, and he's only missed 4.
Oh god, you do know that Alan Shearer's not playing anymore.
Yes, I do know Alan Shearer is not playing anymore. Do I take a guess? He's a club captain. This club's been in the Premier League like a fair long time.
Just trying to think.
He's English.
Oh, I've got a feeling I know who it is. Is it Mark Noble?
It is Mark Noble.
Oh my days!
I told you, love. But the stats are so in his favour that I would feel utterly if in the England World Cup, the penalty shootout versus Colombia.
No.
If he was taking a penalty to win it, I would have no doubt that he would score.
There's an argument here. He's not going. That's the argument.
Yes, I know. I know that, and he's probably one of those players who, in his really good days, could have made into the England squad. I don't think he's even got. Is he a one-cap wonder? Or is he? I don't think he has a cap.
Never been.
No, he doesn't. So, which I think is quite unfair. I think, and as you said, you agree. So for me, if we're talking pure penalties, if Lampard's still playing, I would have said Lampard because his record is, also very, very good. But
I'm confused. Are you doing penalties or free kicks?
So I'm going to do both. My first one's penalties, and then I'll do free kicks because they're not a bit different. So for me, if I had a penalty, I'm choosing Mark Noble, which, as I said, I think he was going to laugh at, and you did laugh at, but the stats are so in his favour. I think it's a sound choice. I'd be very comfortable if he was taking my penalties every week. And then for a free kick, obviously...
I hope you've not picked one I'm going to go for.
Oh, I don't know. So they're still playing in the Premier League, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
As in my free kick taker, yes.
Yeah. So there's an obvious one, I think, which everyone's going to probably shout about because his technique is sensational, which is obviously Trent. Another guy we've talked about a fair few times is James Maddison. I think he's also very good on a dead ball. In his prime, Reece will love this, but Bain was very good on free kicks. Back in his day, but he's gone past that now. So for me, I don't think. I think obviously Bruno, since he's come, has been good on dead balls, whipping the ball in. But I don't think he's scored a free kick. I don't think he's scored a free kick yet, has he?
No, because he's been taking them.
No.
As in, he hasn't been shooting from them. I mean, he's been crossing them. That's what.
Okay.
Do you not remember that?
Is Rashford on a United free kick then? Probably.
I think so, yeah. But do you not remember the last Premier League game we played against City, and Fernandes did the chip ball to Martial really quick?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Harry Maguire scoring, but
no. Where Bruno, he put the ball down and then he took the quick free kick where he chipped it over to Martial, and Martial scored against Edison. He did it really quickly.
I can't say I remember it, but I would have seen it obviously, but I can't say I remember it.
Disappointing.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other good free kick takers, to be honest. I'm struggling. I'm going to go with James Maddison, I think, just because...
Oh, come on. I was going to go for him.
Oh, well, sorry, mate. I think it's between Trent and Maddison. And
oh, you've bottled that.
I don't know. How have I bottled it?
because I was going
It's
to
not
pick.
that much a larger pool of players. I would have thrown Ericsson in there if he was still at Spurs, but he's
Oh
not. So
dear.
we'll
Oh
move on.
dear.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with. Although, just thought of a David Luiz free kick's not bad.
Oh dear.
He scored a few worldies, but no, I'm gonna stick with the Englishman, who we've talked about a fair few times. To be fair, yeah, James Madison. I think his technique is
Well,
sensational.
I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna stick with Madison as well. So we're gonna have to agree on that. I just think
Yeah,
watching him quite close this season. I think from a dead ball situation, if it's the 90th minute and he was playing for United and we're just outside the box, I want him taking it. His free kick reminds me of how Beckham takes a free kick. That's the
yeah,
only.
no, agreed. Yeah,
How would you know? You can't remember him.
yeah, I've seen his goals though.
Yeah, that's the only comparison I could make. I think Madison. Yeah, if there's a free kick, I want him taking it. I couldn't really think of anyone better in the Premier League. Everyone says Trent, but
No,
I'd have
yeah,
Madison. All right, do you want my penalty taker? Well, at least we agree on that.
yeah. I want your penalty. I don't think I'm gonna disagree with what you're gonna say, but
So
just I was interested to know.
my penalty taker,
Mhm.
I don't really know how to describe it because I don't know really how he takes the penalty. Excuse me, I don't particularly.
Okay.
I don't know. He just scores. I think he scores the majority of his penalties. He's penalty taker for his club. I can't really remember him missing much or any at all, if I can remember, to be honest. But I would have Jamie Vardy on penalties. I
Good
think
shout. Yeah, good shout.
I've just literally Googled best Premier League penalty takers, and he's in the top 3. And I can't think of anyone else who scores as many as him because obviously he's on penalty duties for Leicester. So I can't, off the top of my head, remember many he's missed. I can't remember one that he's missed, to be honest. I'm sure there is, but I just can't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
of
yeah.
one. And if I remember rightly, the way he takes a penalty, I think he absolutely smashes it.
He
But
just goes for it, doesn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he just whacks it as hard as he can. So I think in the 93rd minute, obviously we can't make a sub due to Reese's new rules. If I want a penalty taken, I'm sticking Vardy on it to win us the game.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair. Good shout. Didn't think of him, but
See, you thought I was going
yeah,
to pick a United player, didn't you, for both?
yeah. Well, because as soon as I said it, you said Rashford.
Yeah, but
But
that's
I wouldn't. To be fair, I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't have disagreed. But the stuff that's gone on with the penalty taken at United this season, that's why I wouldn't have chosen.
woeful. Absolutely. I think we've had like 6 different penalty takers.
Yeah, yeah.
Woeful. I think
It's
we've
not
had.
as bad as City's though. City's is worse.
Oh, I don't really know about that, but we've had Martial, Rashford, Pogba. Oh God, that penalty Pogba took against Wolves, second game of the season, and we could have won 2-1. What a terrible penalty! That just summed up Pogba's attitude. I don't know if you saw that. It was just dreadful.
Was there a game where you got 2 penalties and like
Yeah, it was Norwich
they
away.
took it like one
Yeah,
took one and then the other
yeah.
took the other?
Rashford took
That's
one,
ridiculous.
Martial took one. Although we,
Are you agreeing with me that a club should have one penalty taker?
yes,
Okay, good.
and our penalty taker should be not Martial because his penalty record is dreadful. It should be Rashford. I think Rashford's
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
probably.
say that's.
I think Rashford's probably had a good. Oh no, actually, saying that, you say that, but whilst Rashford has been injured, Fernandes has been taking out penalties, and he scored
Yeah, I
2
was
and
going to
2.
say
I forgot
normally
about
a
that
playmaker's good on because
because
good with the technically good players are normally good at penalties, aren't
because he runs up and does the whole stuttery jump thing, doesn't he? And
they?
then he
Yeah.
puts it away. I forgot about Bruno. I would actually have him on penalties now until he missed one.
Okay. Yeah,
I,
that's
I,
fair.
I'd have them in competition. So I'd have it between Bruno and Rashford. After each training session, I'd say to them, right, practice your penalties. Just keep practicing your penalties. And I'd have them two going against each other. And I would say to Bruno, you're our number 1 penalty taker. When you next miss a penalty, Rashford will be on penalties next. When Rashford misses
Yeah.
a penalty, it'll be back to Bruno.
hmm
because then it's competition in their head. Mentally,
Yeah.
they don't want to miss one, and they're going to improve.
No.
So that's how I would do it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I forgot about Bruno Fernandes taking our penalties. Here's one for you then. For England, in the
Yeah.
92nd minute, it's the semi-final of the World Cup against the Netherlands. It's 1-1. We get a penalty because Van Dijk's pulled Kane down. Who do you want taking the penalty?
What, at the England squad?
Yeah. Please do not say Declan Rice.
Harry Kane. Yeah.
See,
For me, again, a similar thing to what you said. He didn't miss one in the World Cup. I think you stick with him. And then, yeah, you say if he would have missed one, and I imagine if he would have missed one in the World Cup, as much as he probably would have wanted to take the next one, Southgate may have said, because in that England squad, you've got a handful of players who easily could tuck away a penalty. But I think it would Kane first, and then probably Rashford second.
Yeah. Although,
would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree. Although I would feel less nervous about Kane taking one than Rashford, only because what I've seen in a Man United shirt. It would make me very nervous if Rashford stepped up.
Yeah.
Oh wow! At least we didn't disagree there.
Yeah. No. I wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't hunting for a. I don't think I can say that it's your preference really. Who would you feel most comfortable with taking a last minute penalty, especially like that penalty with the PSG? Obviously, Rashford took was a good penalty, pressure penalty.
Oh my God!
I was.
That brought me flashes of when England win the shootout against Colombia. I couldn't watch that Rashford penalty. I went into the other room. I just couldn't. I just had this horrible feeling he was going to miss it, just because of how long it took to take the penalty. It was like 5 minutes because I can't remember they were checking VAR, weren't they?
The VAR handball, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so nervous.
Yeah, I was watching it at the pub and I didn't feel confident.
Fan, but I wasn't feeling confident that he was going to do it. Obviously, I want to see the English teams go far. But
you're telling me you want Liverpool to go far?
As long as Spurs win.
We don't want Liverpool to go far. Oh, come on. You do not want Arsenal to go far.
I would like, in England, the best scenario for me in my head in the Champions League is 2 semi-finals for the 4 English teams.
Yeah, that would be good. But
we haven't had an English semi-final. Obviously, Spurs played City in the quarters, but I remember this maybe around like the 08 times where you'd have I remember the United Arsenal where Ronaldo scored that free kick from the ridiculous angle, and the Liverpool Chelsea's those kind of, we haven't had that in a while. But I think it would be good.
Well, that was interesting. There was no argument in that either. Wow.
Well, it's a nice day outside. Another day closer to your birthday.
Hey, see? There we go. You were talking about a football kit order, weren't you?
A week today. Yeah.
I like football kits as well.
Cool. What size do you need?
I would say medium, but I'm not sure after lockdown at the moment. I'm trying to cut down what I'm eating at the moment now.
Ah, okay.
That's the problem.
All right. Well, I'll take the top and I'll send you some shorts.
No, because they'll be a bit tight. What shirt are you going to buy then?
I don't know.
I think you should go for an MLS shirt.
I don't actually have a Messi shirt. I don't have a Ronaldo shirt.
Oh my God! So he's banging on about Barcelona, but it's not got a Messi shirt.
Yeah, well, it's only been a year since I started collecting them. I remember as a kid, I had a Messi. It was the year, I think. I'm sorry to bring this up, that they beat you in the Champions League final. It was like half blue, half red.
Oh yes,
and it had Messi on the back. And then one year somewhere else I think I was in France actually, and I bought a Ronaldo T-shirt, but it just had his face and all over it. It was really weird. I have no idea why I bought it.
That must have looked very strange wearing that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think I really want to get a Messi Ronaldo, but then I like the look of kits. I don't necessarily care about the name on. I've got a few without names on the back. I just like the look of the kit.
I had a Real Madrid shirt, a white one with Ronaldo on the back. It was from 2014, I think, where it had like the pink bit down here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that was quite nice, but God knows where that's gone now. It's a bit tight on me now, unfortunately. I'm trying to think. I would love to get a PSG shirt. I quite like
Yeah, me too. There.
But then I also, silly, I know this sounds really stupid, but I also buy football shirts, not just because I like the team or, I don't know, not just because of the players, but also because, do I like that city, maybe? Have I been there? It sounds really silly, but...
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, like, the Robin one, I liked Robin when he was at Bayern. I missed him at his prime at Chelsea and all that.
What a cheat. He was a cheat.
I liked him at Bayern. And it's a nice shirt. I like the colour of it.
Have you been to Munich? Have you been to Munich?
Have a guess.
I've been to Munich.
The probably footballing city I've been to is probably Malaga.
Oh my God. Have you been to that stadium?
No. I was with my mum and dad, my brother and sister.
I went to that stadium. We went there and it was terrible. The tour was awful. The pitch was brown.
Have you ever watched the programme Coach Trip?
Oh, yes, I have watched that once or twice.
Brendan?
He
lives in Malaga, and we met him on holiday.
Oh, wow. I didn't realise he lived out there.
Yeah, he apparently, so we was walking down the street, and he was sat in the little cafe, and my brother was like, oh my God, my dad, he loves that show.
Oh,
absolutely
my God.
loves it. And my brother's like, I'm pretty sure that's Brett. So when we walked back, he was still there. And then, because we walked back on the other side of the street, he kind of, I think he saw that we was looking over, because we all went, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I just want to get a photo. So, yeah, that was sick.
That's my God.
What a memory that is.
And you didn't go to the stadium?
No,
to be honest,
I'm at like a beach resort.
To be honest, you didn't miss much, is the honest answer to that. You really didn't. I went the season after Pellegrini was there, when he got them into the Champions League.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Honestly, the stadium. Go into my Facebook profile pictures and you'll see it. It looked like a farming field. It was brown. It was awful. Yeah. It was hot. It was a hot day, but it was awful. I've been to... Go on.
No,
that's fine. You go on.
Okay. I was going to say, a few people I know do this thing on the weekend where they put in like all the fixtures for the weekend and pull one out, and they'll go to
that's amazing.
Game. Like it's a commitment to do that.
I was going to say I would love to do that if I didn't have a family or work.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Obviously, the travel time. I think they normally do it on the Friday, so obviously they know where they're going on Saturday. But
yeah. That's amazing.
I would love to do something. Sometimes it's an absolute stinker, but like they've been. I feel like the Vitality is not too far from where we are.
Oh, God.
It's a terrible small ground, but it's like a Premier League game. Or you get the opposite, and you go to Old Trafford.
Hey. I've been to Munich. I went to Munich on my stag do for Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember too much of it.
Yeah, I bet.
We went to the Allianz Arena. That was pretty decent as well. I was gutted that we didn't. When we went to the Allianz Arena, there was a game the night before we got there. So slightly gutted that we couldn't go to a game. But we went and did the tour. That again, look on my Facebook, you'll see it. And you can just tell there was a game because there's rubbish in the stands, and you just kind of like, oh, gutted.
Yeah. Because I used to play football with someone who had been to Dortmund. I think like their dad was German or something. But they've been to a few games at. I don't know what it's. I want to say it's called Borussia Park, but I think that's Bremen. Not Bremen. Gladbach, but I don't know what the Dortmund stadium's called.
I have no idea.
But he said like the atmosphere in a German football game is like completely.
And tickets are cheap as well.
Yeah.
So, to sum up, you need to go travelling to some cities and stadiums.
I've been on holiday for the last. This will be I plan on going this year if I can. If not, then it'll be 3 years.
I really wouldn't be hoping too much on this year. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, my only hope is that we're going to Greece and their count is quite low, and their minister has started to put into place plans to allow travel. So if there's any way we can go, obviously we're going to go. But yeah,
Is
That's
that you
agreed.
and the missus?
Mhm.
Oh, is that your first holiday together?
It is.
Oh, here comes the commitment. Here comes the commitment.
I ain't got a ring in my pocket though. I'm not planning on doing anything like
Or
that.
haven't you?
No, there's no. Maybe a Haribo ring
Oh dear,
to soothe the flight.
dearie me. You need to go to more cities, more stadiums.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it's not anything that takes very long. You could do that in a weekend, as you said.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
And so go on then. Which football shirt are you going to buy? I think you should buy an MLS shirt. I think you should buy Inter Miami with Beckham on the back. I think you should go for an American one.
To be fair, the designs of the American kits are, and like, I wouldn't pick a team. I would just pick it whichever looks the nicest. I think. I don't know, but obviously the Miami ones are probably more expensive because it's like a brand new franchise, and everyone's like,
yeah, go for that one. Go for one of the New York teams then, or LA or something.
Yeah, I do like the New York City FC. I don't think of other. But the green was Dempsey used to play for them. I can't remember what they're called.
Is it Seattle?
Yeah. That green's all right. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few I need to add. As I said, I need a Messi. I need a Ronaldo at some point.
Shocking.
Just because they are who they are.
Go for Juve one. Juve, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Bosh.
Yeah. Their away kit's quite nice this year, I think. But then that's the thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes about.
Why don't you go
See
for a Portugal number 7 Ronaldo?
I can't remember what I wore. I wore a national shirt to like a football session once, and I got absolutely hammered. They're like, how are you English and you're wearing? It might have been a Spain shirt or something like that. And they're like, how are you wearing that? I was like, what? I was just like the shirt. They're like, yeah, you're English.
As long as you don't wear a Scottish shirt.
Yeah, I never buy one of those. Don't worry.
God dear. Right, I'm going to end this then.
Okay, cool.
And then you're going to have to think of another topic. And then you can let everyone know what shirt you bought.
All right, I will. I'm going to do some shopping right now.
And I take a size medium. Okay, so...
Okay.
Thanks, Elliot.
That's all right. No worries, Jay. Thank you.
I'm hoping that do you remember Coach John, who did a session in America the other week?
Uh-huh.
So I've sent him a message asking if he would come on. So I'm waiting for his reply. We might have to do a video later on. It might have to be in the evening if he comes on.
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
I'm going to ask him what his views are on MLS. Should MLS have relegation and promotion? And who he thinks is the biggest influenced player that's come over to the MLS. So I'm hoping that Coach John can say yes and we can link up with him. Because that'd be good. That'd be really interesting. I bet he's probably been to more places in Europe than you have.
Probably, because he's older than me.
That's got nothing to do with it. He lives in America.
Yeah, and that's more like a bigger excuse for tourism to come from another continent.
Yeah, but you're closer.
You
need to get out and explore the world. There's more to life than the UK.
I've been in education.
Well, so have I, but I still go out.
Yeah, you've been on education. When did you leave? What, when you was? I'm going to guess you were 16, so 13 years ago.
No, I left when I was 19. Actually, boom.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 10 years ago.
There you go then. See?
You've had 10 years of. I'm going to say time, but obviously you've been working. But
yeah, it doesn't matter. You still.
Especially now, I'm still in education. I've got another 2 years to go.
You still take time off to go places. You need to chill out and stuff.
That's true. True.
Yeah. Poor.
I'll work with it. Don't worry. This time next year, I reckon I can have. How many do I want to say? I want to say 5, but that's quite a lot.
No, I would set a low standard first.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 3 as my time next year.
Do you mean city breaks or just holidays in general, or what?
I mean 3 stadium visits.
And I would highly recommend the Bernabeu as one.
Well, if I go to Spain, there's easily 3 I could do there, but probably do 2.
the Bernabeu. I'm trying to think where else I've been. I think we won't talk about stadiums because we'll use that as another topic. But
Yeah.
I would go Bernabeu. I would go to one in Germany as an experience, and one in Italy. I've never been to a stadium in Italy, so that's one I would definitely want to do.
San Siro or
San Siro for definite.
San Siro.
Okay,
Yeah,
on that note, let us know what shirt you buy.
cool. I will. I'll
I'm
send
gonna
you the bill.
no thanks. I'm gonna make a bet that it's going to be a Barcelona 10 Messi shirt.
Okay. Right.
Or I'm gonna say it's going to be let me think. What did you say you looked at earlier? Or here's one to throw at you, an Ajax shirt. They're quite nice.
Yeah. They are quite nice, yeah, agreed.
I'm going to say you're going for a Barcelona shirt, though.
Okay.
You're going to play it safe and go 10 Messi.
All right. We'll see.
Cheerio, Elliot.
Cool. See you later, Jay.